lot of people who were members of Brexit who freaking actually pointed out that the people who started all that were actually Nazi war criminals that were freaking that were
That's
free.
arguable. That's arguable.
Well, I mean,
Um, a
they were.
lot of them, well, I would argue that quite a few of them were sort of Marxists.
Well,
Remember, we were in the Cold War at the time, and it's the old long march through the institution socialist argument.
no, I mean that a lot of the stuff they said actually did hold weight because like the same guy that freaking started the commission that you're talking about, he actually was an economist. He was one of
Oh, yeah,
he was a
you,
part of the Nazi Party, and the only reason
you're
why he
talking
didn't
about the French politician, the French civil servant.
mhm, is because
I mean,
he wasn't high enough in ranks to be freaking actually
each
executed.
I'm sure about his history.
time they so it started back in the postal thing, and then however they did it before the United States became a country, and we introduced the American monetary system, and then we signed a contract with like England to pay for the first war, and or
Actually, we created the
or French.
Brits,
I mean,
arguably, the Brits created the modern monetary system within the Napoleonic Wars
right, right,
in
and then
1812.
each time that we had some kind of conflict, it coincided with the contract of a new banking system or monetary system
Mm-hmm.
through the records,
Yep.
like
And
Napoleon.
it always goes back to the English. Those dirty,
Privilege.
dirty English people.
The Brits,
The
not the
Brits.
English.
Well,
As
let's just blame all of you then. Just instead of why you gotta always pick on the
it
English.
was in the sort of British citizen.
Oh,
Catholic. I would say the Catholic Church.
well,
Okay,
you
but
can't even blame it on the Catholics when it comes to the
actually,
English
I
because
could
like
blame it on the Russians, or actually go
no,
further back, the French. The
yeah,
French
yeah,
Revolution.
that's actually a good idea because people need to blame the French for a lot more shit than freaking they usually do because they think that they're like all these lovey-dovey perfume wearing people, which they probably are, but they've caused a lot of shit, dude. They have they were them in England and Germany were all three involved in the creation of socialism, all three of them, and everybody wants to blame the communists, like the communist Russia is the one who started all this. No, it wasn't. It was freaking England, France, and Germany. The actual first international and second international took
Mm.
place in France. You know, freaking. It was those dreaded freaking communists from over there in the Soviet Union that did it. Stalin, that horrible evil man that took away
I
all
don't
the
know.
Bibles and
I could go further back and argue the John Locke and Adam Smith arguments,
well,
and
John Locke was a good man.
of the
You better shut your
17th,
mouth, dude.
16th century.
You better shut
Hey,
your mouth, man. Don't you be talking old crap about John Locke. Just 'cause
But
you.
anyway,
you know my argument on the one.
now we're kind of in one of those renegotiating the contract because
Mhm.
the time for the okay, so originally it was so many years, I think 7 years, and then another 7 years, and then moved up to 13, 15 years, something. And then eventually they moved it up to 70 years. And then I think the last one, something about 200 years, and then they have a 15-year grace period or something. But right now, they're basically all the debt should be wiped out and starting new, but because they want to continue their power and their reign. You know, all that. They got to renegotiate the contract, kick the can down the road. So who knows how long it'll be now before the next renegotiation of the contract that we don't have anything to do with.
Mm-hmm.
But we have to follow all the rules that are made because of it. So, yeah.
The evil regime. That's what it is. The thing that gets me about a lot of that really annoys me is like everybody always wants to throw up Rothschild this and Rothschild that, and they don't even realize like there were families that were way, way richer, way, way more powerful than the Rothschilds. Like
the Rothschild family has been one of the biggest players since the Napoleonic Wars.
That's all according to folklore, like a fairy tale about
It's well documented.
them having
It's well
spies.
documented.
They had spies set at the Battle of frickin' Waterloo, and that
Well, there's always both spies,
and
but
that these spies brought back information saying that the English lost against those dreaded frickin' French frickin' fighters, and that they're gonna destroy the frickin' bank. So all these stockbrokers ended up selling, and then those evil Rothschilds came in and just bought all of it up and took over England. And that's not how it happened. Okay, that's just you know what I mean. It was the
very
war.
basic, very sort of
The most the most powerfulest family on the face of this planet was the Warburgs. Okay, they financed frickin' Germany during World War One, dude.
The Rockefellers, the Warburgs, what's his name? Did all the Carnegie.
Yeah.
He was one.
Carnegie.
There's a lot, and there's so many that's behind the scenes and not even talked about. The Vanderbilts.
Mm-hmm.
Too many to name. And since then, there have been new inductees into this cabal, or whatever you want to call it. And yeah,
I like
the way that we've been doing things around here has got to change, and I think a lot of people are seeing that, and that cabal is losing its power because people
are. No, there's no cabal. I mean, making the one world order.
At the same time, it's like each cabal's fighting with each other, so they're really not having as much influence as they think they do, and shit's starting to change because of it.
We'll see.
Well, that's my way. I'm on the optimistic side, and I'm not looking for doom and gloom and a merchant of fear and all that kind of stuff. I'm not thinking that the future is going to be this crazy apocalypse. I think that we have a chance to usher in, or whatever you want to call, create a more harmonious place that is built on fear, built on love and cooperation, and
we all be good little proletariats and fight for the party.
Like, never envisioned a future like that, or never been in that kind of experience, because we haven't lived it before. So we gotta figure out how to make that happen. Create it within you, and then it'll shine into other people, and then spread, and then maybe change the world around you.
I think first thing people need to realize what love is. You know what I mean? Like, you're talking about true, freaking real love. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly.
And people don't really have a concept of that. They think that they can pick and choose what they love and what they don't.
Remember, this is in 1967.
Language and the income, the inability to properly communicate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
What's it?
We don't have words to express the things that we're truly trying to say, and we fall short on communicating that. And that's one of my plights with a lot of things in my life. I've lost opportunities because I wasn't able to communicate in an effective way.
Right.
I've been working on that. Hopefully it'll get better. That's what I'm about. But yeah, I hope that we can come up with a better language that is more universal and lets takes the secret like devious, like we can't deceive people with this language.
Yeah.
Something that's
I remember
open.
every time I talk to you, you're really big on that, like the way you speak and the language that's being said. You know, that's one thing that I know I like having a conversation with you about that stuff because it's true. People will lie and manipulate with words like you wouldn't believe, and like especially with the government. You know, when you go into court because of issues, you need to understand the language they speak is completely different than the language you speak. You know,
But it's set up.
Anyway,
Usually,
I was just going to say I'm going to have to disappear in a second.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
So, yeah.
so
Good conversation.
I'm glad you was able to end that on love and shit. You know what I mean? Because that's all good and everything. I have to be careful about that because like here lately everybody's been having like issues with my sex talk and how sexy I am and
Gotta go in the gutter.
Whatever.
you know. Well, I'm just saying, you know, the ladies freaking they just like say, Roger, you're just too much. You need to chill out because
Peace, man. Have a good one.
they're getting hot and bothered and stuff.
Roger, mine's answer to Adonis.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't go Adonis. I'd go Don Juan. Nobody, no, they don't want me. Nobody,
Okay.
you know, Don.
You are mine's sex pinup.
Sex Pistol. Yeah, there we go. I like that. So, yeah, if you guys want, man, we can cut this short. I've got to actually be back on here later on, anyhow, to do that startup with Jaffe. He's doing the Operation Secret Santa Claus. So.
Yeah, I'm going to be cut on that one. Yeah, no way I'm going to be able to do that one.
I would do it, but what I want to do is at least get the introduction, the first part of it, you know what I mean, going so that it's actually kind of cool. You know what I mean? Have the first part of it, and then maybe be there for the final part and get that taken care of too. So.
Maybe this week I can join him Tuesday or something.
And we can set time frames when we want to do it too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like it'll be like it was last year. We'd join in to fill in a spot whenever he can't be on and so forth, just to keep it going. So it's not like we have to do like an entire day of streaming or nothing. Just whenever.
I just had a message from Nioki asking about Sunday today, even.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I mean, if he wants me to go on there, he needs to understand that I'm going to be doing Jaffe's show. So.